Senator Ledama, what is that?
Good Lord. It is nailing the gullibility of the Kenyan citizens. We are so gullible, we are easily tricked, easily deceived to believe. It is like we're all bipolar, to tell you the truth. Today we wake up, we are protesting, we are demanding for changes, we are demanding for reboot. Tomorrow, this very intelligent man, let me call him today a very intelligent man. William Ruto is an intelligent person. You know, he scouts around, he scans the horizon, he looks at it, and then he says, voila, found it. He goes into Parliament, he goes into the archives of Parliament, he looks at the legislation process, how things have come to be up to this particular step, and say, voila, here it is. And then he brings in the people who are responsible for the entire debt crisis that we have in this country into this table and say, you fix it now, you know? And I'll be talking about this more often. Even in the, you should make sure you pick my column over the, on Wednesday to be able to see the details of what I'm talking about. It is absolutely ludicrous. And I think Kenyans must wake up. Kenyans must realize that sherehe will not help us. Kenyans must realize that launching of programs will not help us. We should be celebrating success, you know? A project should never be launched. A project should actually be opened, you know, once it's completed. You know, and I think it is about time that we really ask ourselves, you know, whether all the money that we immense, you know, running around and celebrating that now we're in government and we're doing all these things, will be able to help us, or will we go with it when we die? We will not. We need to be able to look at the problem. That people, I don't blame my brothers and sisters in Nyanza. I don't blame them because they strongly believe that finally they'll get services, you know. But I think on a very serious note, we need to change the trajectory. You know, this country is bleeding. The Gen Zs were, you know, up in arms. They talked about the seriousness. What we should be thinking about now is not hovering around the entire nation to try and have homecomings. You know, I completely detest them. What we should be doing is sitting down. My brother Mbadi, what he should be doing is sitting down in Treasury and saying, where did the rain start hitting us? How do we fix this mess? Because we have a mess. You know, teachers, here the teachers are striking. Doctors, we just went through a whole process where doctors were striking. You know, are we definitely going to continue beating the same drums? No. Enough is enough.
Yet your party is involved in this.
Listen, I was elected by the people of Narok to represent them. I'm very happy to have been elected under the ODM ticket, and I support ODM. And ODM as a party does not have an agreement with KK. It does not have an agreement. I said here before, we have a few of our brothers who were recruited to work with the president. It is in their own prerogative to be able to go and work there, but it's not ODM party. You know, the other thing also, we have to be very clear on, because people talk about opposition. Parliament must do its work as a oversight of the executive. But when we are, you know, when I had my brother, when I couldn't wait for this opportunity for me to rebut. When he says KK ODM administration, where on earth did you see that? Seriously, you know. So some, you know, I completely detest. That's the truth. I completely detest the trajectory that we are on. I completely wish that. Let me finish. I completely wish that Kenyans out there will wake up. Will wake up and be able to resolve the problems themselves. And the only way they can resolve the problem by themselves is by beginning to tick the boxes. In fact, every Kenyan, if you don't have a notebook, write it on the wall of your house and say, we went to the streets because of A, B, C, and D. With the day 2027 when you're going to vote, remind yourself, look at your wall first, you know, or take all these newspapers. You know, when I was growing up, finally when we moved from a mud house into like a, you know, sort of like a wooden house, we used to plaster the newspaper all over for, you know, for comfort, so that the wind does not come in and make us sick. So I want to plead with Kenyans. The first one today is to take this one and then plaster it on the wall And then remember in 2027 that for you to be able to have a better life, it must begin by you changing it. Not by us leaders, because even us, we are so gullible now, we cannot be able to stand for the truth.
All right.